Look up on a clear night, and there it hangs, a golden earring in the ear of night, the jewel of our system, the Lord of the Rings. We call it Saturn. For centuries, we have done what humans always do. We projected our dreams onto the darkness. We named it after a god of plenty, of harvest, of golden abundance. We painted it in our imagination as the serene monarch of the outer worlds, wearing its icy crown with quiet dignity. Through backyard telescopes, it appears as a perfect postcard, a small, perfect sphere cradled in gossamer circles, as if the cosmos itself decided to create something of pure elegance, just for us. The rings, those magnificent, impossible rings. We told ourselves they were frozen music, celestial architecture, the universe's gift to our lonely species, proof that something out there could be beautiful, ordered, serene. And the photographs from our robotic emissaries, Voyager, Cassini, only deepened the spell. Saturn rising behind its moons, the delicate tracery of ring shadows falling across its cloud tops, the hexagon at its north pole, a geometric wonder, six-sided and strange, humming in the twilight like a cathedral built by no hand. We looked at Saturn, and we saw ourselves reflected in gold. But that's just the mask. Now look beneath. Consider that color again. That warm golden hue. It is not gold. It is the color of old bones. The light reaching Saturn has traveled for more than an hour across the void, stripped of warmth, bearing only the cold testimony of distance. What we see as serene amber is the light of a sun reduced to a bright star, filtering through ammonia clouds that drift above a world with no surface to stand on. And those rings, those perfect frozen arcs of grace, look closer at their shadow. The rings are not a crown. They are a graveyard. Beneath that luminous veil, the truth is written in ice and violence. The rings are the remains of something that once was whole, a moon perhaps, or something larger. Something that wandered too close to its parent world and was torn apart by forces beyond comprehension, tidal forces. Imagine it, a moon the size of a small planet, minding its own ancient business, circling in the dark, and beneath it, Saturn's gravity, patient, immense, utterly indifferent, begins its work. It pulls harder on the near side than the far side. It stretches, it strains. It reaches into the moon's heart and finds the fault lines hidden there. The moon does not explode. That would be merciful. It unravels. First, cracks appear across its surface, running deep, venting ancient ices into the void. Then the cracks widen, become chasms. The moon begins to elongate, to deform, to lose its shape, and finally, inevitably, it surrenders. It becomes a river of rubble, a billion shards of ice and rock, each one a fragment of a world that once was, now condemned to orbit forever in the exact place where it died. That is the rings. They are not jewelry. They are the scattered bones of a murdered world, arranged in a memorial that has lasted 400 million years and will last 400 million more long after humanity has forgotten its own name. And the murder continues. Every day, every hour, the fragments collide. They grind against each other in the silence. They fracture into smaller pieces, creating new generations of debris, new layers of the shroud. The rings are not static. They are a slow-motion catastrophe, a cascade of endless violence, a wound that never heals because the force that made it never stops pulling. We sent Cassini to investigate the scene of the crime. For 13 years, it circled Saturn like a detective walking through a murder house, measuring, analyzing, photographing. It flew through the gap between the rings and the planet itself, a space no probe had dared to enter, and listened to the static of a billion collisions. What we learned: the rings are young. Geologically speaking, they are infants, no more than 100 million years old. In the deep time of the solar system, they appeared yesterday. Dinosaurs walked the Earth when Saturn put on its crown of bones, which means something died there recently. Something large, something that broke apart and became this, and the rings are dying too. Even now, even as you watch, they are falling. Ring rain, a shower of microscopic ice particles, is drifting down into Saturn's atmosphere, pulled by the same gravity that created them. The rings are consuming themselves. In another 100 million years, they will be gone, faint shadows, ghosts of a ghost. Cassini measured it, weighed it, proved it. Then we did what we always do. We killed the messenger. On September 15th, 2017, we commanded Cassini to die. It had spent its fuel. It had completed its mission. It had revealed secrets we never expected to find: oceans beneath the ice of Enceladus, lakes of methane on Titan, the precise age of the rings. But we could not let it wander uncontrolled. We could not risk it crashing into Enceladus or Titan, contaminating those pristine worlds with the debris of Earth. So we pointed it at Saturn, and we told it to fall. For 13 years, it had been our eyes, our ears, our ambassador to the ringed abyss. It had sent back postcards of impossible beauty. It had made us fall in love with a world of gas and ice and endless twilight. And now we asked it to become a meteor. It entered the atmosphere at 77,000 miles per hour. Its thrusters fired until the end, trying to keep its antenna pointed toward Earth, trying to send us the last few seconds of data. The temperature rose. The structure strained, and then silence. Cassini became a streak of light in skies that have never known a witness. It vaporized. It joined the clouds of ammonia and methane, its atoms mixing with the atmosphere of the world it had spent a decade studying. We did not kill it. We returned it to the crime scene. We made it part of the evidence. Saturn does not know we exist. It does not know that we named it, or that we sent our machines to circle it, or that we wept when they fell. It does not know that its rings are beautiful, or that they are a graveyard, or that they are dying. It does not know that beneath its clouds pressures exist that would crush our strongest vessels into paste, and that somewhere in those depths, hydrogen is compressed so fiercely it becomes metal, a sea of liquid metal, swirling, conducting, generating a magnetic field that stretches millions of miles into space. It simply is. It turns on its axis once every 10.5 hours, faster than any planet in the solar system except Jupiter, flattened at its poles by the violence of its own spin. It has completed more than 10,000 such rotations since Cassini died. It will complete 10 million more after we are gone. And those rings, those beautiful, terrible rings, will continue to fall. Fragment by fragment, collision by collision, they will descend into the atmosphere. The graveyard will empty itself. The bones will return to the Earth that never was. One day, Saturn will be ringless. One day, it will be just another gas giant circling a star that will one day die, in a galaxy that is rushing toward nothing. We called it the jewel of the system. But jewels do not remember the worlds they have consumed. Jewels do not wear the remains of their children around their throats. Saturn wears its rings like a confession, and we alone in all the cosmos have learned how to read it. We looked for beauty. We found a crime scene. We called it home.